This is the story of a dedicated news team whose unwavering commitment to ethics was flawlessly mirrored in their mastery of the English language's structure. Their daily work, from the first spark of an idea to the final broadcast, was a living lesson in grammar, showcasing how tense dictates action and syntax ensures clarity and responsibility. The team's code of conduct was built on immediate, constant, and future actions, perfectly captured by the simple present and simple future tenses. We investigate, interview, verify, and report the complex facts, but must also be careful to correct errors and disclose sources. This present tense sentence was their daily mantra, establishing a perpetual rule. They lived by this: we write, edit, publish, and disseminate the breaking news story, but must also be careful to avoid bias and ensure fairness. Looking ahead, their future commitment was clear. We will investigate, interview, verify, and report the complex facts, but must also be careful to correct errors and disclose sources. The future tense outlined the journey. Similarly, in the artistic department, we will capture, frame, illustrate, and caption compelling images, but must also be careful to respect privacy and refrain from manipulation, demonstrating a future obligation. This consistent structure, a list of core actions followed by a mandatory ethical check, showcased how parallel structure is essential for a clear and unwavering mission. Their integrity was proven by their past actions, recounted using various past tenses. We investigated, interviewed, verified, and reported the complex facts, but had to be careful to correct errors and disclose sources. The simple past tense established a completed mission and a realized essential obligation. The past perfect added depth to their planning. We had sold, traded, bartered, and marketed all our goods before we remembered to save and invest the profits. The present perfect tense highlighted the ongoing impact of their efforts. We have investigated, interviewed, verified, and reported the complex facts, but must also be careful to correct errors and disclose sources. This tense confirmed that the principles were not merely past actions, but were still binding on the team. We have hypothesized, measured, analyzed, and published the findings, but must also be careful to replicate and peer review, showing their cumulative yet always accountable history. The continuous nature of their work and their learning was described through the continuous tenses. When the audience tuned in, they were told, "We are hiring, training, motivating, and rewarding our team, but must also be careful to listen and fairly evaluate." The present continuous proved the process was happening right now. They shared their creative flow. We are designing, sketching, painting, and coloring the image, but must also be careful to erase and frame. The past continuous introduced context for a sudden reminder. We were planning, mapping, navigating, and steering toward the destination, but the driver insisted we stopped to rest and refuel. This structure demonstrated how an ongoing action could be interrupted or guided by a necessary ethical or practical check. The team realized that the discipline of English grammar was the perfect mirror for their ethical code. Each sentence they spoke or wrote, from the active voice of their main verbs, investigate, write, analyze, to the careful conjunctions, but introducing their moral obligations, reinforced the need for precision, balance, and accountability. To master English was to master the very structure of their professional integrity. By meticulously using the tenses to track when an action was done, the verbs to define what was done, and the syntax to ensure the ethical check was never forgotten, they not only published the news, but also built a reputation. This was their true code of conduct, a commitment to duty expressed and maintained through the flawless structure of the English language.